Hello and welcome everyone to the weekly Delphian meeting. Thank you for tuning in. So it's just going to be me today. Joe is at a conference this week, so we'll go through and do the regular market update, and then we'll click through some earnings trades and open up for questions, obviously. So let's get started. Okay, so Nasdaq pulled back to 2, Russell still in 8, and SPX in still in 4. So those are still the same, 8 and 4. I did notice VIX is getting a little action, so that one's kind of feels like it got dislodged, because of all this zero DTE trading. I think has skewed it, but we're seeing some life in the VIX right now. Green pie wise, we're at 24, and now we're at 18. So that was a week ago. We're 60% in state 8. So overall the dollars in state 1, TLT state 8, oil still in 1. So let's look at the dashboard here for market pulse. So we had a previous high here of 80, almost 86. So we're at 82-ish right now, with a low of 75. So we just had a little dwell and turned back up, and I pretty much figured that was just because S&P couldn't cross that 50-day, and levels here after this. But obviously we got oversold conditions, in spades right now, bullish 18. So just have to see when the bleeding stops. So we did have a new high for 52-week lows. So 55.7, before we had 522. So these are obviously problematic when we're getting big spikes. So we haven't had the massive one yet, like 1,000, like we had back here, but these are definitely getting significant. And they usually come together like this, 4 drop, little lull and then spike. So, if we go back, it's a lot of that. So these are could be the beginning of the earthquake type mentality, the beginning shocks before, we get some big ones. But, we'll have to wait and see if our levels if they can hold. We're right on it for SPX at 4,200. So we're right below right now, but we're basically on 4,200. So that'll be a big one to watch. That's pretty much all I'm watching real closely. Obviously 10-year too, but this is concerning. So we had that one big spike, kind of dropped down a little bit. Nothing, had another big one. So we'll have to see. Overall, individual states, not much different. You can see here, there's just some little in the other states. It's just all loaded up in state 8. So that one actually didn't drop much, so we got up 56, pretty much went flat, and then started, picking up a little more. But, the pie overall, we had a little drop, but this one pretty much is flattened out. I mean, within 1% or 2 before turning. So, other statewise, kind of watch. There's just so many in 8. So really, we'll have to look for the 7s to start picking up, because there's just not that much in anything else to really garner. So look for when things do turn back, these sevens will start popping, and then into fives, but those are pretty much dead right now. We're only at 10% in state ones, so you're not going to see a huge pickup in twos. Twos to fours, it's not that much there really. Just kind of watching eights and seeing, looking for seven transitions. So, okay, let's go into SPX. So, before this was right at the 50-day, right up here, where we had, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, almost 7 days where it tried to get over and failed, swoop back down. So now we're, in this kind of range. So we're below that right now. We're at the 42, which is the bottom of our 46 up here is the top of the range. So we're right at the bottom of the range for SPX at 4,200. So that's going to be, critical level in the next, couple days. If we can hold that. This right here is now kind of the 52. The entry price right around the 200-day moving average is about the same as this. So really it's just, this will be short-term resistance. Getting, you can see here it's kind of, 3 days kind of fighting back and forth. So today we're down below here. So if this really, fails and holds, obviously we can make a pretty strong move down lower. But really I'm just watching, that 4,200 level. If we can hold that, obviously, we'll get a bounce. But big picture, we're in
Hey,
six.
Josh,
Yep.
can I stop you for just a second while you're on this picture? Thanks.
Yeah.
Sorry for doing that, but it's
No, you guys feel free anytime. Just chime
the
in.
only way I know how. So my question is, the actual Delphian prediction in state four is that it actually will not hold the 4,200 before it hits the target, a bearish target that's
Right.
yeah, okay. So it looks like today we're pretty much right. I think we're a little bit below 4,200 right this second.
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting. I mean, I think the predictions are still pretty strong or pretty accurate even though we're all hoping that they're a little bit wrong here.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I kind of, like these bigger levels, I kind of put those a little ahead of the modeling. When they coincide, it's really strong, like that. The stop loss here was, the 50-day. That was those things lined up, during this time period, and now this is the 200. Um, so that's going to be, strong, resistance on the way up, if 42 holds. So, um, I my kind of go-to is default the resistance support on the chart, and this would be like complementary, you know.
Yeah, yeah. The days average and the days current are pretty much on target here too, and the Fed announcement will be next week, and we'll have I think Apple and all the rest of the biggies will have reported by next week too. So
Right.
that should clear things up quite a bit one way or the other on direction.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, thanks.
Yep. Yeah. So, if we get a, 42 doesn't hold, we get a swoop down, then obviously we could get an 8 transition. But, if it holds, then, it'd make another run up to the, the 50-day average. And let's just start looking at those. So you can see here, I did want to pull, to show you. So the first sign I saw, this is 5-day chart. So this was the first time, this on Monday, it dropped below 4,200 and just like popped like immediately. So that's just showing, good support in there. So now we're down below again, currently. So, if if it pops again, gets above, closes above 4,200, then, it's pretty good support. If this was just a one-time thing, then, obviously things can get ugly quickly. But here's the 200, you can see down there, 42.37. So that pretty much coincides with, like right in this range of the entry price. The 50 days obviously come down, but you can see here, this coincided exactly with the 50-day, and that was that, stop loss level at that point. So those things lined up then, which is why I kind of put a big red flag for you guys there. That, a week or whatever that was ago, a couple meetings ago. So right now, we're dancing with that 200. So we're below that, and we're right below 4,200. And just can't pull it out too far. Get a little perspective here. So this was the range for a long time. It's obviously the top of the current range, although we're right below it the second. You can see, back here, fail, and then finally broke here, and made basically that run up. So, we tried it here, and now we're back at the second test of this lower one. So, kind of all eyes on, for me, all eyes on that level in the next few days. For Russell, obviously this one, this is our normal path, right? So this one's acting like it's going to do the average move. It's another drop. So an average move would be between target 2 and 3, and if this holds, so like if that S&P doesn't hold, then I would expect this to, knock out the average move. So that would be new lows for the Russell. You can see right here, the 52-week is 1662, and we're below that right now. So we've made new 62-week lows. Longer term, if we look at this, our bearish market lows were right around, I think, 1641. So 1641 there, 1641 there. So 1641 is the big line in the sand, and we're not that far from there. So this breaks, 1641 would be the next thing I'm watching on Russell. If we make new lows, and who knows, could get up. So we broke 17. So now we're down below that. That's going to be resistance on the way up. That's 17. Obviously, higher here, but this was the range we were at before. We've been down below 17, one, two, this fourth day. So the new range is going to be here. If 42, I keep going back to that, 4,200 doesn't hold on SPX, and this is going to be the new range. Obviously, we'll be in this. We're in this right now, but it's only the first couple days, so you just want to be careful as far as that. But the new lows, that would be right, kind of the average move for the state 8 for Russell. So that's what I've been looking at here. Obviously below the 250 crossed a while back here on October 3rd. So really it's just, it's going to make new lows. That's going to be a big thing, if 42 doesn't hold at 1641. That's your next kind of big milestone. If we make new lows off of that, that'd be a big deal. So yeah, it's gonna, the VIX has popped a little bit. That's a 1 day. So it's been acting a little better. This whole period kind of weird. But it has been popping lately. So you can watch those new lows, and I'm sure we'll have new lows again. Not sure how big that spike is, but really my whole key right now is I'm watching the next day or two is this, and then that done the 1641's kind of the second thing. So that's where my focus is. Next week we got the Fed meeting, so pretty much nothing. 97% for no hike, and there's a little for a cut. So I doubt that cut's coming. But still kind of same for December, ballpark. So nothing really changed here. Next week we'll find out. And the Fed balance sheet keeps running off, so they're doing what they said, run off. So still a ways off of kind of our 7500 kind of target, but they're making their way down. What else? 10-year obviously hit new highs within the last week. We're up 495 right now. So, the 52-week high, that was hit within the past few days, basically 5%. So obviously that's going to be a headwind for the market the higher those go. And, 5 is kind of like our threshold that I've shown you on those charts over and over. So we don't need to repeat that. All right, chart of the week. Here we go. I found one. This is personal savings versus credit card. So savings down here, credit card just like on a beeline with all this inflation, making new highs pretty much daily on the credit. So this is the average consumer not doing well, obviously, going to be a headwind for the market. So all right, that was it for market update. Any questions, comments?
Hey, Josh Lee.
Yeah,
on on that personal savings rate and the credit card debt, do you have a feel for the delinquencies, and are they rising gradually or dramatically? Do you have a feel for that by any chance?
yeah, I've seen a few things. I don't have it offhand, but they're kind of gradually rising. Um, like car loans, and like credit card delinquencies, they are rising. Um, I think I saw something about car loans was like pretty high historically. But credit card was, just they're all kind of climbing,
Yeah.
but not like this.
Right.
I mean, these people are getting charged. Um, they're paying interest on this. It's crazy. So anyway.
All right. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I have
Yeah. Go ahead, Sudhir.
I have an anecdotal story. I worked a trade show at the State Fair of Texas for the last few weeks. So for those of you who aren't in Texas, the State Fair is a 4-week long mega event in Dallas. And I worked this trade show, and every vendor that I talked to that was around me, because I talked to the other people in the other booths and all that, everyone was saying that business is way down from last year.
Yeah.
Some as much as 40%.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So everybody said traffic's down, business is way down. So, I think just anecdotally, it's such a big event that occurs over 4 weeks, and it's all discretionary spending. Of course, you don't have to go to the state fair,
Right.
and it's way down this year.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think that reflects what this is showing.
Yeah, that's why I brought it up.
People are maxed out. So
I know one of the vendors was said that he's getting that a lot, that, hey, I'm just backed up on bills. I can't buy what you're selling. You know, they're getting that a lot.
yeah. Thanks for that. It's a good anecdote. Hope you enjoyed the fair. That's I didn't know it was that long. That's crazy.
Yeah, it is. It's a really long event. 4 weeks long, 7 days a week. You know, they have 2 major football games. The first game was
Yeah,
historically black colleges, Prairie View A&M and Grambling. And then the I think it's the second or third week they had Texas OU.
right.
That occurs at the fair. So I mean, and Texas OU and sells out the Cotton Bowl Stadium and the fairgrounds all around it. So it's just thousands of people who are going through the fairgrounds. It's a big event. It's kind of an interest. I don't think they publish any data, but you know, if they did, I think it would be an interesting leading indicator.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I've never been. I didn't even know it was that long. So anyway, yeah, yeah. The other kind of concern, obviously, is geopolitical with what's going on in the Middle East. You know, I told you I'm concerned about that. I'm even more concerned as you know, they're sending you know, carrier groups. I think they're sending 2 over there. You know, along with the amphibious readiness group, which is like Marines on board. You know, in China, they're all sending ships over there. That's just, you know, a bad recipe. So I'm pretty concerned about that, you know, kicking off some kind of world type war. So, okay. Anyone else? Thanks, guys. Okay, this is dipping the earnings real quick. So non-movers, we had a big fail and 2 wins. So the fast now or whatever it is, that was the max loss. So it tried to get back there. It was like right at 57.5 on that expiration. Ended up being like max fail. The other 2 pretty much canceled it out. So pretty much flat as far as non-movers so far. Bullish runners, you got 2 open. There's a few days left for ACN. This one kind of just started, Goldman Sachs. So those are both down a little. So obviously not a great start to earnings. We had our first bearish pre-runner. So yesterday, Roku. That one just started. And then the bullish pre-runners. We got 4 open trades. So 1 up, 3 down. This one finishes up today. That'll be another down. So right here you have, you know, like a net of down $1,000 there. And then you're up 500 on the close. We got 2 losers. AXP couldn't pull it out. And BX was a short term that didn't do well. The other ones all hit the profit target. So, you know, not a good earnings right now. So obviously the market hasn't been behaving well. So that's where we're at on earnings. Any questions on that? Okay. Well, no Joe today, so this is the abbreviated session. I'll just open up to anyone that has questions, comments. before we wrap it up?
Yields have to rise. That's what I
What?
think.
What's that?
Yields have to rise. That's what I think.
Yeah, you're talking about that on last week. Which one is this right here? Yeah. They've definitely come up, but it's 30 years, almost 5, 10-year, 4826. And I don't know where so that's from 1024. Like obviously here we got 495, so I think these are just a little delayed. These are actual the latest treasury auctions, I think. So yeah, up here, 5.4, 5, getting over 5. Yeah, I mean, if this goes up, that's a headwind for the market. So I agree with you. Unless something major happens, they have to do emergency cuts, and obviously, that's the only other way around this. So, okay, anyone else? Thanks, Sadir. All right, we'll wrap it up. Thank you all. We'll do it again next week.
Okay, thank you, Josh.
Yeah,
Thank you,
thanks,
guys.
guys.